And hello everyone, welcome to Layers of Fear 2. I hope you're enjoying the marathon so far. I'm really thrilled to be featured on the third day of this marathon, so thanks again for accepting this wonderful run. Today we're gonna run all collectibles, which means I'm gonna have to play the game from start to finish, not only once but twice, because you'll see that some items you can only collect after starting a new game plus, so that's really interesting. So I'll start a new game immediately, and the timer will start as soon as I press the first input to get out of this waiting screen. So let's go. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Okay. So I got a little note just to be sure that I miss no collectibles at all. I'm not even sure. I should have counted how many collectibles there were in total, because I'm not even sure actually. It's like a minimum of 50, something like 50 collectibles to get throughout the game. But it should be good, of course. You almost had it. Because I know where they are, and soon you will know too. So there are a few categories of collectibles in Layers of Fear 2. And these categories are photo slides, movie posters, phonograph interviews, spyglass items, and mysterious items. So you'll see as we get through the run, I'll try to count the items that I get so that you can follow the count maybe. And yeah, we should be about a total of 2 hours, and a little more than 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 10 minutes to get all of the items and finish the game as well, because in this category in Layers of Fear 2, you don't need to just get all the items, you also need to get to the end of the game when all the items are collected, just to make the run valid. So yeah, we'll go for that, of course. And actually today, very interesting, because as I was training for today's run, actually yesterday, I realized that maybe I was doing something wrong in the run. And I'll try to change that today. So actually I'll be testing a new strat today with you guys. It's basically a strat, it's not a lot, it should save about 1 or 1.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes at most. And actually this strat concerns, it's about a cutscene that is supposed to happen at the middle of the run. Only, this cutscene is the final cutscene of the game. So, because I need to finish the game once before starting the game again. Depending on the ending that I get on this first time I finish the game. Some endings are longer than some others, so I think, well, if I'm being correct, what I saw yesterday is that during all these years that I've been running this game, I was doing not even the shortest ending. Oh, it doesn't make any sense, right? Because we're speedrunning here. So I'll try today to see if it's a viable strat to actually go for a different ending, which is the forever ending. If you know a little bit about the game, the forever ending is the ending that you get when you obey twice and disobey twice. And actually, this can be done in a few different scenes throughout the game. These scenes, I like to call them the key scenes, because actually in every chapter there's a key scene that determines which ending you get. So of course I'll tell you every time there's a key scene and every time I choose which action to do, because all of these actions will have consequences on the ending that I get. And because in the all collectible categories the ending matters, because we basically need to skip the credits, go back to the main menu and start a new game plus, it's really interesting to make sure you get the shortest ending. So here you go. Now I think I introduced the game pretty well. 134, or am I wrong? No, it's 134. This code, by the way, is always random. It's never the same code, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, another thing I'd like to mention. I'll be running at 60 FPS capped today, because usually this game is faster when you uncap the FPS. Because a lot of game mechanics actually depend on your frame rate, which is pretty lame, I think, for speedrunning, honestly, but you know, it's fine. It's not such an issue. So yeah, I chose to run at 60 FPS today, simply because, well, I wanted to make the game look as best as it could for the marathon, you know? Because when you uncap your FPS, very often weird stuff happen with the game's mechanics. So I didn't want that to happen. I wanted to have a nice and clear of bug runs. So there you go. And now, as I'm talking, we already picked up the 3 first collectibles that we need in order to get them all. So we had a photo slide, a phonograph interview, and a movie poster so far. And I'm just cruising through all these animations, of course. Here I can just turn around, because this room is useless. And here I am in the first black and white section of the game. There's a lot of black and white sections in this game, which I love, by the way. I think it's a really nice graphic, design choice. It makes the game really unique, and of course it references all the old movies that this game also references, because it's a game about a tortured actor who doesn't manage to build his roles because the director that employs him is basically horrible with him. But of course this hides a deeper meaning, and this is why I love Layers of Fear 2, is that it has so many things to understand about the lore. So that's really cool. Okay. So it didn't screw that up.
In the land we've seen behind shut eyes, the one of bright shores caressed by tide.
So if you don't know the Layers of Fear franchise, it's very famous for one mechanic that it's very fond of. It's making things... Whoops. Go away. Making things appear and disappear when you're not looking. This is really what Layers of Fear is known for. And I don't know if it was really the first license of games to do that, but actually the first Layers of Fear, which came out in 2016, was, for me, the first game that used these mechanics. So maybe I missed a lot of classics before. But yeah, that's what Layers of Fear is really good at. It's building an atmosphere, you know? It's really about the atmosphere, not much about the jump scares, and don't even worry about the jump scares and the jump scares, sorry, in this run, because we're going so fast that we won't even be able to see them. Of course. And so now, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not, because I'm pretty sure, we collected all the items there were in chapter 1. We're going pretty fast. We're already approaching the end of the first act of the game, which is called the Unmooring. And now, this is the first key scene of the game. You have to choose between these 2 mannequins, which mannequin you want to shoot. And depending on your choice here, it will have an influence on the ending you get. So I choose to shoot the mannequin on the right here, because it's the one that's faster. Basically, if you want to shoot the one on the right, you have to shoot 3 times in order to actually shoot your bullets, because the director talks to you and says, no, shoot the right one, not the left one. And see, that's why every choice in this game is called obey or disobey, because you have this director voice in your head. Is it in your head? Is it real? We don't really know. But this guy is telling you what to do, and you need to choose if you want to obey him or disobey him. Whoops. Okay. I had to make this corridor appear here. by turning around twice. And sorry for your eyes. This is the brightest room in video game history for sure. I mean, it looks nice, but you know, it's very bright. Just need to wait for this animation and get out immediately.
You shouldn't play with strangers. She wouldn't like that. She doesn't like...
See, we're back in black and white right now. And that's interesting because we are going... Like this is the final section of the first act. And we are going into the second act, which is mostly in black and white. Like more than a half of the second act is in black and white. And then the acts 3, 4, and 5 will be mostly in color. And here we go for the first chase. But spoilers, I will not get caught today because I'm playing in safe mode. Because it's way faster for some other chases of this game. Basically, safe mode allows you to be invincible. And they added that after releasing the game because they realized that many players didn't want a die and retry horror game. They just wanted immersion and atmosphere. So personally, I think it wasn't a good choice to add the safe mode, but I guess some people had a better experience with it, and that's all that matters, you know. So yeah, because I'm playing in safe mode here, this chase is really irrelevant. I just have to go through all these little rooms and open these doors as fast as possible, which is not a problem. And I will be able to grab, right after this door, the first film reel. There you go. And this is the reel that will allow me to start Act 2. Because every time at the end of every chapter, you go back to your cabin as the actor on the cruise ship, and you need to play the film reel in your cabin in order to start the next chapter. So this is a small collectible that you mustn't forget. And these are the spyglass items. So it's interesting because these items are not inside the chapters, they're actually inside your cabin. So it's very easy to forget, but I won't, of course. And now we are going into Act 2, which is called The Hunt. Once again, using all the game mechanics to go as fast as possible and to skip the rooms that are just here to give you a scare. I'm falling in there. Actually, I really love this second act. I think it's one of my favorite, maybe my second favorite after the fourth one, because of its atmosphere. You see, we're all in black and white right now. And there's no music, just sounds, scary sounds. And I love it. So maybe I'll talk a little bit less here, just so that you guys enjoy the immersion. Right? There's the first photo slide of this chapter right here. And there will be a few cutscenes in this game that unfortunately I'm unable to skip. And I think during these cutscenes I'll be able to tell you a little bit about the lore of Layers of Fear 2. Because it's fascinating, and it's thanks to its lore that it became one of my favorite games ever. You know, it doesn't look like much when you first play it. It looks even pretty obscure and hard to understand. But, you know, when you spend enough time playing it and looking for the clues, the lore is really fascinating. Gonna have to make this wall disappear. There you go.
Strikes at the heart.
It's that easy. You can try at home if you want. And here's the code that I need for this door. 828. Because behind that door is a movie poster. There you go. And it's the fourth movie poster. Out of, I always forget the number, 12? I think there's 12. There you go. Now we're entering a section that I like to call the Mannequin Town, which is in reference to the movie classic Metropolis by Fritz Lang, a classical mute film from the 1920s that I actually haven't seen yet, which is not acceptable. I need to watch that. We quickly solve this little puzzle here. And we are going to solve another one that will clearly reference Metropolis if you've seen it. There you go. That's it. The famous Metropolis clock. Only there's an arm in the middle, but don't worry about that. So here the point is to reach an objective. Here you can see on the right, the game asked me to reach 70 in total, like total value. So I just need to add the numbers that I need to reach 70. And of course I know exactly which numbers to add in order to reach 70 as fast as possible. So that is done in less than, what, 30 seconds or something? And these are the little mannequins that I love in this game. It's very interesting to know that very often, not here in this scene, but very often these mannequins are animated in low frame rate. Like, I don't know, maybe 30 FPS or something. And like, it's funny because all the game is going at 60 FPS and you can see the mannequins like lagging a little bit. And it's made on purpose, and I love this detail.
But one can become a vessel to carry within a flame of another. It warms the heart. It feeds the soul. It makes the world so bright. So bright.
The director is directly talking about the lore here.
Strong.
This section is only here to let you understand what's going on. It can be pretty hard to understand here because of course I'm speedrunning. So I'm not picking up all the items that make me understand the game. I'm not picking them up because they don't matter in all collectibles. I just want the collectibles that I can keep with me. Oh, and yeah, you didn't even mention that, but the all collectibles category I mean, in this category, you only need to pick up the items that appear back in your cabin when you pick them up. Like, if you pick up an item and then your character puts it back where he took it, you know? Like, if you don't really pick it up in your inventory, it means this item doesn't count for all collectibles because it won't appear back in the hub. You see here, if I... maybe I won't do it now, but if I press tab, I can see on the bottom right corner of the screen which item I picked up. And these are the collectibles that I'm looking for. And right now I can confidently say that I am missing none of them. Here, very important to go to the left to pick up this strange note, which is mysterious object number 1 out of 5. And the mysterious items are very different than the other items in this game, because they tell another story than the main storyline. And it lets you think, maybe there's something else going on in Layers of Fear 2 than just an actor and a director. And oh boy, is there something else. And this was phonograph interview number 3 in the chest. So this is out of 6 of them. There are only 6 phonograph interviews, and each one, like there's one in each act, so it's easy to remember. There you go, a little jump scare here, little doggo. I often tried some things here to avoid that jump scare, but it's completely unavoidable. Like it locks your camera in and you're forced to look at the doggo. But hey, it's a doggo. Who doesn't like a good doggo in a game?
Look, there's something there.
Oh, where am I? Okay. It's a little trippy section here.
Look over there. Can't you see it?
Running around now. Okay. We're good. The door should be here. There you go. Basically here there's a door that appears between each shadow of the rotating thing. I don't know how that's called, but the door basically appeared and disappeared here. And I just went straight for the wall where the door was supposed to be, and it let me go through. And don't forget the photo slide. Oh no, it's not in that chapter, my bad. I'm too far ahead. Yeah, I'm trying to remember as I'm playing where the next items are. Okay, I know where the next one is. We're fine. We are going towards the second chase of the game. And it's right now. But again, safe mode. I'll just try to avoid these things here that slow me down if I run through them. And actually this chapter is very nice to understand how faster safe mode is, because there's an entire section of the game at the end of this act that well, that you couldn't do without safe mode. Like you couldn't speedrun it without safe mode because it needs you to wait for so long. I'll just show you. So there was the little photo slides. It was hiding inside one of the slides that I could switch on the screen. So I needed to choose the slide that had the collectible in it, and then choose the second slide that actually had the trapdoor in, so that I could go to the next room. And now we're into the bottoms of the cruise ship. With... Oops, is that a problem? Okay, no, it's no problem. The dialogue didn't start, so I thought it was maybe a glitch, but we're all good. And second key scene now. Instinct or reason. You need to choose. And I will hold the correct inputs here in order to lock them in as soon as possible and make the animation as fast as possible.
Another page Prove your worth. Yes.
And right now I'm going to give up.
Guide you. No,
Right here.
it can't be the life that was to be. Forget mercy.
And see, the dialogue, the lines of dialogue kind of glitch there. It's because it's something they never fixed, you know?
You didn't take
Classical
it.
Blubber team.
You let it
Um,
go. You
Basically,
gave up.
the dialogue glitches here because,
make it.
well, letting go of the animation at that point,
You once saw this boy drown a
I don't know,
baby
the
rat in
game
the
doesn't
gutter.
understand it, and the dialogues just get mixed up, and it lets you go, and it assumes that you disobeyed, so that counts as a disobey.
What is forever?
And that's a very well
if not
hidden poster,
merely a premonition?
because this room is a dead end. There's actually nothing to do there except picking up the poster, so this one's pretty hard to find on the first playthrough if you're not a really experienced game explorer. I don't even remember if I found it on my first playthrough or not. Maybe not. Honestly, who would? You are going back and all the gold transformed into dead fish. Which is symbolism, of course. And here we go, we're heading into the final
Come on, we have
sequence
to go.
of Act 2,
Oh,
Did you hear that?
where we are being
James,
threatened
run!
by these. But I will ignore them. Because I'm playing on safe mode, so I can take as much damage as I want. And I won't die. And it's for this section that safe mode is way faster. Here, usually, you can take 3 damage. And after the third one, you die. But here I don't,
Heart of
and
the
that's
city.
my last poster.
It beats no more.
Last poster of Act 2, so now I just need to go to the ending.
Remember our
Right.
treasure? It's not far. This way.
Yeah, another pretty good cycle here. I don't fully understand how these cycles work yet. Got damage here. You know, even though you can die, each damage that you get slows you down. So, you know, it's always better. The least damage you have, the better the run is, of course. Same here. Usually when I come out here, the flames are not there, but it's fine. TV
Watch out!
and run.
Something's coming. We need to keep
And that's supposed to be another chase.
almost there. Just a bit further.
But a very short one. As soon as I step in here. Small loading screen. And we are done with Act 4. Act 2. My bad. And this is the reel for Act 3. Don't forget the spyglass item. On the left here. And off we go. Oops. Act 3, Bloody Roots. And this act is really different from the other because we are going through here. And this is basically an act where the whole point is for the actor that we play as to go back into his past and his most traumatic experiences and childhood memories in order to build his character for the director.
Come, faithful servant.
Oops.
For tonight
Okay.
we brew a ghoulish concoction, the world's strangest stew.
I'm just triggering an animation here, and I'll be back. Ooh, that's very good. For each item that I pick up here, there's a line of dialogue pronounced by Lily. Okay, a second one. And actually, every time a dialogue plays in this game, your character is slowed down for like a couple of steps. So every time I pick up an item and you don't hear a voice like that, see? It's good because it allows me to run sooner. I managed to skip 2 out of 3 dialogues here, which is pretty good.
Look at it bubble.
And off we
Look
go.
at it shake. The beast! It's awake!
So yeah, this act has a very unique structure in the game. Because it's like divided into smaller acts in a way. And every time you go back into that small theater, pick up the key,
Time to go.
go back into the small vent, and fall back to where we were 2 minutes ago. In that little wooden tunnel. So it's like 5 or 6 little sections like that. And each section is a memory that we need to
Careful.
I don't know, work on,
Step into the light.
tackle. Yeah. So this room's pretty fast. There's a photo slide here. Need to pick this up, put it here, pick that. Where is it? There it is.
You were always
Pick that up, and put the mouth drawing over there. Put the necklace here, take the
Close to your
card.
heart. Don't let her be forgotten.
Pick the mouth back up, put it there, give him the card, take it back,
heart,
and put the mouth here.
rooted by tragedy.
Weak, useless, no good to
And
anyone.
when the dialogue doesn't have the time to stop, it
It's
means I
like
went fast enough.
I was never there. It would have been better if I was never there.
And this mirror is about to break.
Shh. Be quiet. Just let's go. Father will be leaving the projection room soon.
Lily always tells us to be quiet here. And there's always that small loading time here, which I don't know why they didn't brush it off. But there's a lot of questionable choices by the devs in this game, which doesn't prevent me from loving it, of course, but you know, pretty annoying still. There's a movie poster here that I can't forget. Of course I remember. There you go. And we're going into the basement now. Spooky
When
basement.
the world becomes too cruel, we look for a place to hide. We can be left in the dark.
And we are going to collect mannequin heads.
Can be held.
Put them in the chest.
It is whatever you. The dark.
While
can
Lily
be a
talks us
silent
about how the dark
silence,
can be a friend sometimes.
or it can speak volumes. It is whatever you make it. The dark can be a lonely place. Solitude
There it
can be a
goes.
sentence.
Where am I? Okay. There's gonna be a pretty loud jump scare when I put this head in the box when I turn around. In 3, 2, 1, there it is. Because it's always so loud, I like to to say it in advance.
To let the dark in.
But we're good. It's harmless.
Father's coming.
No, please.
I said.
End
get
of the
in.
basement. Everything's going very well so far. No items were missed. And there's a movie poster here in the chest on my right. There you go. Wow, every time I manage to exit these items without their respective dialogue playing, that's
Come
really
on,
good because
we'll
as
get
I just
mad
told
if
you,
we're
it
not
allows me
back for
to
him.
run away faster. And you basically just have to pick up the item and then spam right click in order to exit. Okay. Yep, it's all good. Okay, so now we are getting to that new strat I was talking to you about earlier. Because we are heading into the third
where you
key
come in.
scene of the game that determines which ending we get.
Go on, pick it up.
And it's for this key scene that I think I was doing the wrong
Seems the
choice
tables have turned,
every time for
Quartermaster.
speedrunning.
Curse you and your
Every time here I
mutinous
chose to...
puppets.
Here you have a choice. You
I
can
will not make
choose to
this
shoot
easy for
the
you.
puppets on your side,
If I am
or
to meet
obey
my
Lily
doom
and
today,
shoot her.
it will be by
And every time
your
I
hands,
shot the puppets,
by your
so I
action.
obeyed the director. But I will disobey the
That's
director
right.
today
Don't hesitate.
and see what
You
what,
know I
what
wouldn't.
ending we get.
Yes, show me you're strong, like me.
And right here, it's crazy because like it's literally the first time I'm doing that in an all collectibles run,
I want Lily.
and
Lily.
it's it's obvious how shorter it is.
Lily.
I mean, you probably
I thought
can't
you
see
were
it because you're
gone.
not used to the run, but
That's because I was. Well,
having
She
ran
is.
this game for
What?
2 years or something. Wait, my
who I was a
my
moment ago.
mouse cable is stuck
no
in my
more.
monitor. We're good.
Now,
Yeah,
I can
having run
become
this game for
someone
about
else.
2 years now. Wow, it's so obvious how faster this is. I can't believe how I could have gone with that wrong
Watch.
routing for all
This
this
is the
time.
best
It's crazy.
part. Come, we can't stay any longer.
So, I think today's run won't be a PB, unfortunately, because I'm running on 60 FPS and not 144 as usually. Because, you know, just for the stream's sake, you know, for my computer's sake, because I don't want it to fry over the course of this run. So yeah, I'm running at 60 FPS, and I'd say I'm about, just because of the frame rate and the game going a little bit slower than usual, I'd say I'm about 1 minute behind my PB right now, which is huge. But it will definitely be a 60 FPS PB. And that's... Oh my god. Okay, I just... Wait a second, I just need to plug this in. Where's the button? Okay. And there's a pretty long cutscene that I can't skip, so... Now's the time to
My
talk.
brother, he was always there.
I have my timer running on my
Following
second
my
monitor
footsteps.
just to be sure of all the collectibles that I need to collect.
Smiling sadly.
And I'm just seeing a 30
Like a
seconds
warm shadow.
gold thanks to that new
Always
strat.
there,
It's crazy.
but never really
It's
present.
crazy. So yeah, I
Sometimes
think today, like
darkness
later
fell
today,
across
I'll try a run at 144 FPS and
sneak out of the house.
it'll surely be a new world record.
He'd look up into
I mean,
the night
can you really
sky,
call it a world record if I'm the only
watching the
runner?
stars, but never really
But
saw
yeah,
them.
a new, very nice
What he
PB
really
at least.
saw was a
That's really
thousand
cool.
souls on fire. His eyes would light up. The stars were already there. At that moment, I knew he had it in him
Did he?
to make 1,000 hearts bleed, 1,000 heads turn,
1,000 eyes weep.
weep. My brother, the silent dreamer, dreaming that a day would come when we could leave it all behind. The journey of a lifetime, a light on the horizon, a flame to cool his own. Yes, he had it in him to make 1,000 souls burn, make them feel alive, make them live forever, 1,000 lives. But never mine,
This is a really pretty cutscene.
never mine. we were, dreaming ourselves away into the night sky. When we could almost reach out and take it, a cruel shade eclipsed the sun. Our dream was
And
gone.
here's a George Méliès
Something
reference.
else took its place. Something vicious. Something...
Of course. Can't miss that one. So the person talking here was Lily. And Lily is the
No.
sister
What were the Black Wanderer doing
of the
next?
actor we play as.
Don't worry. One day we'll get to see how it ends.
However, the actor we play as is an adult, of course. And Lily is obviously a child. So that's how you can see that this whole game is about introspection, about going back into your memories, and this game is about trauma as well, and dealing with a trauma. Wait, let me think. Where is PI4? Okay, I know. Oh, it's just... Whoops. Wait. I was just thinking about where the next collectible was, but we're good. I don't want to fail here. Okay, we're good. And third room. Radio. Water. Plant. Okay. That's one way to make this puzzle very fast. Bloody roots. Here we go for the conclusion. Well, the intermediate conclusion of this third act. A little spark is all it takes.
A little spark is all it takes.
Father, no, please.
Stay out of it,
And
Lily.
here's a heartbreaking line of dialogue.
Why can't you just leave us alone?
You filled the boy's head with nonsense.
So that explains a little bit what was
You're the
going
one
on
who's useless,
in Lily's
you
family.
Cruel, one-eyed freak.
What did you call me?
Get away from him. You monster.
And this is why we get to see this creature. The giant cyclops, which looks so good, oh my god. The first time I saw that, I was in awe. And now we have to run away from him, because this cyclops represents our father. And our father is actually a World War I veteran who was a war photographer, and he lost an eye in battle. And this is why coming back home from the war, our father only has one remaining eye. And this is why their children think of him as a giant and terrifying cyclops. Oh, and I am just realizing something. There's a window on my right side, and the sun is rising. So it's going to be in my eyes for a couple of minutes. And actually for a while, I think. But it's fine. Just a little vitamin D to stay healthy. Oh, I need to wait here? Do I? Don't I? Oh, sorry, I'm getting lost. No, we're good. Alright. Oh my god. I'll try to... I'll try to go and close the shutters for a bit if I have a cutscene that allows me to do it. It's not very comfortable to run this
Father,
game with the sun in your eyes.
It's today.
I know.
But I complain about the sun.
Going to s-
However, we had one entire week of rain last week, so I shouldn't complain.
Did you get anything?
Alright. And these are the last two collectibles of Act 3. The phonograph interview.
It
And...
isn't over.
Oof, that hurt
No,
my
Mr.
eyes.
Hardy.
And the movie poster.
My spirits, as in a dream, are
And we
all
are
bound
done
up.
with
My father's loss.
Act 3,
The weakness
which I feel. See here, I was way slower just because the guy was talking thanks to me picking up the movie poster. So here, exiting the movie poster before he starts talking is really good. Because when you crouch, you're even slower, so it's really annoying. Yeah, I'll take a minute to close the blinds, but I'll see about that when I have a cutscene, you know, I don't want to leave the run like that, waiting. Is there gonna be a cutscene soon? I'm not even sure. It's fine though. Honestly, it's fine. You know, it's good for the camera, I guess. Oh my god, it's not. Look at that contrast. Okay, and we're going into Act 4, which is called Breathe. And this act is my favorite of the game, definitely. Oops, it's not here. First of all, because of its aesthetic. As you'll be able to see, we're in black and white right now, but it's going to be, there's going to be a lot of red in this chapter. And the color of red is, of course, very cinematographic. It's used in a lot of movies, you know. There's Shining, there's Suspiria, very famous for its red color. If you have any other red movies, don't hesitate to post them in the chat and I'll take a look. But yeah, this is a red chapter. And
Go on.
it might be really pretty,
Be there for her.
but it's also pretty
As she
terrifying
was for you.
if you focus on what this chapter is actually about. Now we'll try to talk about it to you guys. Maybe with a small trigger warning though, because the lore of this game can be pretty dark. But it's fascinating to see how they managed to write such an interesting story and tell them with such symbolism. Pretty crazy. Okay. Oh, Mandy. Is that... Mandy is with Nick Cage, right? Or am I completely wrong here? I'm not sure.
Some parts.
Okay, don't forget that photo slide, Kaweed. There you go. Because I often forget that one. It was photo slide number 8, to be precise. Pull down that lever. This is a really pretty room as well. Too bad we don't have the time to stay and look at it. And there's a second photo slide right here. There you go, photo slide 9. And for some reason this split is a gold. Not sure why. The one with Nick Cage, yeah, alright. I haven't seen it yet, but I would love to. I heard it was really violent, and that's all I know about it. So don't spoil me anything.
Don't do it.
Okay, here you can start to have some lines of dialogue that reference the tragedy that this act is actually about. The color red is starting to appear a lot, where it's literally the entirety of the screen right now. And I will just go through all these hints that let you understand what this chapter is trying to say, and then I will actually tell you. Oops. It's all about the sounds that you hear, the colors that you see, the symbolism, the objects. Sadly, I'm not spending enough time in these rooms to see all that there's to see. cannot be broken. Was he about to say?
Cheer up.
Sorry for the... Well, yeah, I always forget that these are very flashy lights. I'll just look down here just in order to prevent
I'm not upset.
anyone from being maybe too sensible to flashing
Nothing
lights.
really happened.
I'm in the right spot here. Okay.
You just need to be more careful.
Yeah, there's a lot of flashing lights in Layers of Fear in general, and especially in this chapter, so sorry guys. I'll try to avoid all these lights as much as I can. And that's one for one out of 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Useless. Worthless. I hate you.
Let me go. Oh my god. Am I having a drop here? Whoops. Am I back? I just had a drop here. Okay. Am I back? I think you guys saw the drop. Are we good? Not sure. Oh yeah, I'm back. Okay, thanks for telling me because I was freaking out. That's weird. Any drop since month, like for months. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know where this is coming from.
Bad things. I am still
Hope it
here.
won't happen again.
This is not the end. The flame
Okay, this was a
burns.
very interesting section where I had to go backwards in order to get out of the room. I really like this room. There's a movie poster. See what I can do. Yeah, I think it was totally on my end because I had a drop on OBS, so yeah, sorry about that. Okay, and now with the sun I can't see a thing here. Okay, we're good.
You're nothing. I hate you.
Okay, get that key. Go into the little door. A lot of flashing lights over here. Don't hesitate to look away if you need to. There are no collectibles in this section, so you're not missing anything anyway. Picking up these lily flowers. There you go. The game was tired of safe mode. Yeah, the game really wants to kill me. Where am I? Oh, I was in the corner. Okay, and coming up, we have one movie poster and one mysterious item left in this chapter.
We were meant to live forever.
Oops,
And I
I
will.
went to the wrong side here. Now it's on this side,
I will be forever.
now on this side. And
I
there's
will
gonna
be.
be a very clear Alfred Hitchcock reference here.
I will.
Forever the dream.
Forever the wound. And there we go. Now we are heading into the last key scene of the game, because there is no key scene in chapter 5.
Comes for you.
Interestingly enough, there's a reason for it, of course, in the lore.
Yes.
So this is the last key scene of the game. We need to follow the tide and go to the end of the room towards the pinnacles.
Sometimes it is better to find your own way. To accept what was lost. To accept
Okay.
the pain.
We're good. I don't have the sun in my eyes anymore. It's on my screens, however.
Your own.
And that's a problem if the game gets dark, which it will. Actually, it won't. We're fine.
Lily, please.
Oh,
come
actually, it
back.
will right
I
now.
need you.
Okay, there's a very well hidden movie
Wait,
poster
this
here.
sad time, we must obey. Speak what we feel.
It's fine. And now I'm going to find the first, no, actually the second mysterious item. 647. That's a code I never had here. 6. Whoops. 4, 7. And in this chest is a very mysterious item indeed. And actually, these mysterious items, you see they're making strange sounds. They don't have a clear dialogue going on when you pick them up, contrary to all the other items. These mysterious items are what require me to actually finish the game and start a new game plus. Because 3 out of 5 of these mysterious items are only collectible in the new game plus.
But never.
That's why I'm going to have to speed through chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5 again in order to get exclusive new content. And here, this whole section is another movie reference, and it's a reference to one of my favorite movies ever, which is Seven by David Fincher. Of course. The ultimate thriller.
Of shame. I was never one to serve.
And each of these rooms are relative to one of the 7 deadly sins. And you can recognize the settings of David Fincher's film. And basically you're freeing souls of sinners here, represented by rats. And these rats are following me into my journey to saving my sister.
I can still save you.
It's still pretty
So, Captain.
pretty mysterious here. I'm not sure you can understand anything about what's going on in the game, but when we reach the end credits before starting New Game Plus, I will tell you a little bit about everything that's going on. Here I'm just navigating from cannon to cannon, avoiding all the monsters trying to kill me.
It's just you and me, Captain.
I'm gonna actually speedrun to my window and close the shutters because it's really hard to see right now. Sorry about that again. Okay, now I can go close the shutters. Be right back. And I'm back. Just in time. I like to do a little of in real life speedrun as well, mixed to my usual speedruns for more spice. And here we go into a very trippy section where we are led by a ghostly voice that resembles Lily's,
So dark.
but it's not actually Lily's.
Can't you hear it?
It is, I believe, someone mimicking her. Or something. There's a really deep and complex mythology behind Layers of Fear.
Did something bad happen?
And not only Layers of Fear 2 actually, it starts in Layers of Fear 1.
Listen to
And
me,
it
Bob.
expands in the last Layers of Fear that was released this year. And I love this lore. Sun RNG. It's exactly RNG. That's the kind of RNG I get. Okay. And you can see over there on the walls, all the posters that I picked up are here. That's what I was saying. All the items that I pick up in the game can be found in the hub in my cabin when I go back after each chapter. Okay, this one's very hard to see, but it's a little shoe over there in the water. And it's our 4th spyglass item. And here we go now into chapter 5, which is called Forever. The final chapter of Layers of Fear 2. But not the final chapter of this run, though. we're gonna have to go through the credits together. Okay. Hi, dude.
This place, it sickens me.
And actually, what's convenient about having to play some of the chapters again for exclusive items is that if you forget some items in your first run, you can always, you know, clean up afterwards. You can't in chapter 1 though, because I won't be playing chapter 1 again. Only 2, 3, 4, and 5. So here I called the elevator and picked up a poster as the elevator was coming. To do 2 things at once. It's interesting because, you know, the game doesn't look like much speedrun wise. I mean, it doesn't have any glitch, I think. Layers of Fear 1 has a few glitches. I mean, Layers of Fear 1 speedrunning. But Layers of Fear 2 speedrunning doesn't have many glitches, and I think actually no glitches to exploit. It's just basic game mechanics, and especially routing, of course. It's all about a good routing. And in all collectibles, of course, it's remembering and a lot of learning. Yeah. But I've always been fond of 100% runs. Although I haven't done much, but yeah, I love collectibles and hidden things because they make you expand your experience of the game, and I think it's great. It's funny because I have 2 sides actually in me, gaming related. There's the speedrunner and the collectioner, because I also love to slow run through games and, you know, explore everything and get also PlayStation platinum trophies, because I play on PlayStation as well. So yeah, these are the 2 sides of me. And there's gonna be a photo slide coming up. Yeah, okay, I remember where it is. Whoops. Missed the door.
I guess I never had a chance, did I? Neither
I would love that to be possible in real life. Like, you know, you want to grab the handle, but you miss it and you just go spinning out of control. If only that could happen.
It's better not to be. To burn away.
Unfortunately, it's reserved for
There's
first-person games.
no place for me here.
And this is
Only
James.
you. Whoever that is.
Little James.
I hope you'll be brave this time. I don't think
So you
I
may
can.
wonder who Little James is.
cannot.
Well, Little James is the little brother of Lily
Not anymore.
that we heard earlier in the game and that we actually saw earlier in the game.
This was to
But
be my final work.
I thought I told you that we,
Reclaim
as
what
our
was
character,
lost.
were also Lily's brother.
Go of the stolen
Well, you may
fire.
have figured it out by now.
Reignite the true flame.
Actually, Little James is
Now the spark.
the actor we play as. Only we play him grown up.
It is lost. Hopeless.
Whoops.
Just
Let me go.
like you.
Whoops. And the photo slide will be right here if I'm not mistaken. On the left. There you go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are only 3 collectibles left in this first playthrough. In this run's first playthrough. This poster right here A lot of gunshots. Oh my god. This door is heavy. Heavy on the mouse.
An empty shell. It can only be.
No, okay. Yeah, there's a collectible. Actually, I just want to try for the sake of the run. Yeah, okay. So there's a collectible here. But it's only available in New Game Plus. Again, one of those. There was a second poster, and then will be the last phonograph interview in this little chest right here. And there you go. We have collected all of the items that were available in one's first playthrough of the game. Then we will have a few more to collect and to find, because they're very well hidden in a New Game Plus, of course. So we are about halfway through right now. Just a little more than halfway, I would say. Right, we survived. I always wondered what was at the top of this ladder, but unfortunately we cannot use it. Because this act is all about,
How many times have I tried?
well,
To put the
it's hard to explain without going through more of the lore.
just to watch them fall apart.
But it's basically like a mind paradox chapter. It's like the limbo that our character is stuck inside of. Because we are getting lost in all of the roles that we try to build, because we're a tormented actor, tormented by his past. And because all of the roles that we try to play can take a real shape in our head, well, we are getting lost in all of these roles. And we struggle to figure out which one is real
Before it turns to
and which one is only a play.
how could you know? Of all the wasted years, of all the pain
And the director
to bring how many times
is trying, in his own way, to bring us back to reason.
before he can truly live?
That's why, remember, in chapter 2 we had to choose between
This is what
instinct
happens when you
or
fail
reason.
to look at
Instinct was disobeying,
formless.
and reason was obeying. And this is the representation of all these failed roles.
Will you crumble as well?
Why can't I see anything? Whoops. Okay, that was weird.
The boy that never speaks.
Have you found a voice?
Have you found the voice?
This lever is so slow. Okay. Here we go for the ending.
Shame I won't be there to see it.
Bam. That's the end of
But do you
chapter
know the
5
way?
officially. But this is
Killed
like
one
a
character,
preliminary
you destroy the other.
cutscene.
There's
It's
no
not the
other
ending
way.
cutscene. It's like a cutscene that
You follow
builds
reason, you sift through it,
throughout the game.
cut away the string.
And you can actually see this cutscene in your cabin, but only partly. Every chapter,
You're not afraid. to
another
face
section
it.
of this cutscene
You
adds.
accept the
And at the end of the game, you see it entirely. And you find out
the
what
tide
really
rises,
happened on the
you
boat that the
choose
children were
reason.
on.
Wow.
This is Lily.
In the end.
And because we're playing as James, this is actually memory.
James!
Lily! Ah!
James! Listen to me! You have to go!
No! I'm not leaving. I'll find a way to reach you.
I know you will. You're strong. Stronger than you know. We'll be together again. No matter how long it takes, I will find you. I will.
And that's what happened. So this is the entire reason why James is struggling to go on, because his sister was the only person he truly knew and loved, because their father was a violent father, a monster, and they didn't know their mother because she unfortunately passed away in childbirth. So it was a very, very deep tragedy. And he actually became an actor to work on this trauma, to bring back the memory of Lily by impersonating her. And this is what the director is trying to get us to realize, is that we need to let Lily go. We need to accept what happened. And this is why different endings are possible. You can accept to let Lily go, that's when you obey the director, or you can cling to her memory and make her live forever. And this is when you disobey the director. However, if you disobey twice and obey twice, the director says that you haven't figured your mind. And this is what we see right now. It's the third ending. And this is the Rat Queen. And the Rat Queen is what I was talking to you about when I said there was a very deep mythology behind Layers of Fear.
You can't have it.
This Rat Queen is basically a deity.
You are not ready. Because you have not earned it.
And she is behind everything.
When you do, I'll be waiting. Until then.
Now we're back here.
Action.
We shoot a mannequin, and it's the end of Layers of Fear 2. So, I'm really thrilled because this ending is so much faster than anything I did before. It's crazy. So I'll definitely add that into the run. And it's also a really nice ending. Like, it's so mysterious. Love it. And unfortunately, the credits are pretty short. As you can see, we're already done with them. Now we are starting a new game plus. Safe mode as always. We're going back. Because we are missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items. 6 very important items. 2 of them actually will be available in our cabin as soon as I respawn here after this cutscene. There's a very funny thing to do. There's a very funny puzzle in this game. I'll do it just in a minute.
You are.
See? That's the Rat Queen. We see her from the very beginning of the game. And she is here all along, hiding, lurking. And I love it. It's so... Ugh. So horribly fascinating. We need to go back to the spyglass right now because there's one missing item right here. However, there's also a little hidden thing in the spyglass. And to unlock it, you need to stare at the horizon for 42 seconds. Exactly 42 seconds. And this is hinted on the mysterious notes that we found back in Act 2, back in the hunt. On this note, there was a little drawing of a circle with some kind of horizon drawn on it in 42S. So you had to figure it out for yourself. That you need to start a new game plus, go to the spyglass, look at the horizon, and wait for this. There you go. And this is one of the items that we need to pick up. There you go. So now we are replaying chapter 2. It's no, it's not this one. Wait. Sorry, I'm getting lost here. 1, 2. No, yeah, that's chapter 2. My bad. Okay. Oh my god. I just golded from like I golded by 1 minute. More than a minute saved. It's crazy. I'm still behind because 60 FPS and not 144, but yeah, this cutscene is actually more than a minute faster. Crazy. How did I not realize that before? But I'm glad to realize that with you guys today for the marathon. I'm so thrilled. Oh, sorry, I just saw your message. Which ending do you prefer? I don't know, actually. Maybe I'll try to show a different ending for the actual ending of the run. Because I will have to go to the end of the game again. So it will be the occasion to see a different ending. And because this second ending will not matter, ending-wise, maybe I can show you. Well, I'd say my favorite ending is the one that we just saw with the Rat Queen, because although it's very hard to understand, it's the key to understanding what is really going on in Layers of Fear 2. But I'd say casually, it's not really the best ending to have. And unfortunately, many players had that ending as a first playthrough, and it participated in making Layers of Fear 2 not very liked, unfortunately, by the public compared to its predecessor. Because too many people were lost in this game. They couldn't figure out what was going on. And I understand. I completely understand because it's so well hidden. And here we need to go into this room, which was locked previously. It only unlocks after completing the game and playing a new game plus. And in here, you can find this wooden cube, which is one of the mysterious items that we need to find. Now that I've picked it up, I can speedrun my way through Act 2. Oh, that's very good. I managed to make the key appear, and the thing didn't lock itself like it usually does. Okay. It's really good. I'm playing pretty well right now. Pretty satisfied. I did a couple of mistakes though in chapter 4 and 5.
Tragedy strikes.
Oh, I got lost here again.
Despair consumes the soul.
Here, of course, there's no need to go back in that little room on the side with the code because I already have the poster. And did you see that little creature thing going back into the well before us? Well, guess what? This was actually the Rat Queen. He is everywhere. It does lack closure. Yeah, exactly. And this feeling, like a lot of writers and directors in movies and video games like to use this like open endings, you know? Endings that don't give out all the answers. It's cool. I personally love them because, you know, it gives you something to think about later on. But it's so unsatisfying, honestly.
One suffers for another.
Okay, now I need to do that again.
Place
8,
the machine
then 7, 9, and 10 in order to reach 38. And then 1 and 5 to 10 to reach a total of 70. Whoops. Whoops.
time marches on.
Kept clicking too early here.
Turns to decay.
Bam! We're back in the elevator with my boys, the mannequins. Issuing another ending kit takes like 5 minutes. Yeah, it's like 2 minutes longer than the one we just saw. So it's fine. And it'll be the conclusion of the run, of course. But yeah, I think I will show the ending where you obey the director, so where you let your sister go. Because it's the ending that I usually did, that I used to do in this run.
To
before figuring out that it was 2 minutes longer.
The heart, it feeds the soul.
Hey guys,
The will soul.
what's going on under there? Oh my god, there's a hand!
The stolen flame burns
I
strong,
never saw that before.
burns quick. The stolen flame burns out.
And we're gone. Yeah, exactly that new cutscene I'm doing is a revolution of rooting. But you know, because this is a pretty small speedrun community, like we have 2 or 3 active runners. So there's not a lot of rooting, you know, we went with what we knew. But I'm glad I found this out. It was like, it just clicked in my head, but why have I been doing that for all these years? Better late than never, right? And actually, I thought about that because the new Layers of Fear, the 3rd one, was released this year. And it was that game that made me realize that maybe I was doing something wrong. And the 3rd game is really interesting. I don't think it's gonna be very popular in speedrunning at all. Well, first of all, because it's not very popular at all in the first place. Because it had a really, in my opinion, poor marketing campaign. Well, the first reason behind that is that they named the game Layers of Fear. Why? So they named that third game Layers of Fear, and they renamed the first one Layers of Fear Legacy or something. I'm not even sure. And it's so weird. When the first trailers came out for the 3rd game, they chose to call it Layers of Fears with an S. I thought it was pretty weird because, you know, for online referencing and search engines, it would be really hard to get your game out there with just an S as a difference compared to the first game. But no, they actually decided to remove the S and go with the exact same title. It's so weird. I don't know why they did that. And unfortunately, the game was really disappointing. I'm not selling it to you guys, I'm sorry, but
Look,
being a fan of Layers of Fear 1 and 2... Oh my god, I keep getting lost here. Being a fan of Layers of Fear 1 and 2, I was so surprised to see what they did with the 3rd one.
Can't you see it?
There's a lot of amazing stuff. I'm not gonna lie, like new chapters and new things everywhere. New mechanics, new graphics. Okay, the game looks amazing. But it's not enough. Oh no, I missed the door. Okay. So yeah, don't hesitate to check out the 3rd Layers of Fear 2023, because it's really worth playing, honestly. It has a lot of new stuff and the atmosphere is amazing. But it's really the weakest one out of the 3 in my opinion. Like a feeling of deja vu in here. How much time? Like when was I here before? Is it an hour ago or something? I think it's something like an hour ago. Whoops. Trying to escape. Pretty good. I keep avoiding any damage here. Pretty nice. Because damage slows you down. All about hitboxes, of course, as always. But it's really hard to understand where your hitbox begins and ends in an FPS. I was gonna say in a first-person game, because you literally have no body. Never heard of this game series before, really? Well, I'm glad to show it to you today. Honestly, if there's one game that's worth playing in the Layers of Fear franchise, it's the first one that came out in 2016. It's really amazing, and the game worked really well. Like, we had a lot of famous YouTubers playing it. I mean, I don't really know worldwide how it went, because the game is actually Polish. It's from a Polish studio. So it worked really well in Europe, but I'm not sure about other continents, actually. I never checked it out. But yeah, really popular in Europe.
Instinct or reason. One life outweighs
Hey.
the other.
So of course we're playing through the key scenes again.
There's no other way.
I'll be doing the same choice for this one.
One lives, another pays the price. All lives are
However,
not
I will
equal.
change
Prove your
the third key scene, the one of Act 3.
Let instinct guide
I will choose to shoot the puppets instead of shooting Lily.
the life there was to be.
And this will give us a different ending. Because when you play in a New Game Plus, the ending that you got is saved, and you need to only play one single chapter, change your choice there, and then play the last one and finish the game, and your ending is changed. Because, you know, you go from 2 obeys and 2 disobeys to 3 obeys and 1 disobeys, so that you know, shifts the balance, and the ending changes as well. This whole pirate section always makes me want to watch Pirates of the Caribbean. 'Cause I love these movies so much. And this game is so filled with movie references. And there's actually a direct reference to Pirates of the Caribbean. There's that thing that Jack Sparrow has on his head, like hanging on the side of his head. It's like some kind of jewel or something. And this can be seen in this chapter, actually, in chapter 2.
Come on.
So I went too fast, so we couldn't see it, of course. But it's there.
This way.
James, run!
And there's a whole thing around pirates in this game, of course, because the children, actually, James and Lily, used to play as pirates. Lily was the captain, and James was the quartermaster. In their little role play. So actually now maybe I can tell you about the story of the kids, because we know that they ended up on the boats and that Lily ended up dying on the boats because of a fuel explosion in the engine room. However, why were they in the boat in the first place? Well, as you might have understood, their father was a tyrant. Is that a word?
Remember our treasure.
Yeah, a monster, basically.
This way.
And yeah, their household was a living hell. So one day, they decided to flee. And the first thing that they found was a flyer for a cruising company called Icarus Transatlantic. And it's interesting because thanks to this flyer we can understand that these kids lived in Britain and they took a boat to go to the US. However, in this boat, things went terribly, of course. Because, well, they were stowaways. And unfortunately, the crew of this boat was very used to having stowaways, so
Almost there.
they took drastic measures to prevent them. So the crew was chasing after the children in order to take them and send them back to where they came from. However, going back to where they came from meant going back
Bloody roots.
to their horrible father. So they hid inside the boat for days and days. And they started running out of food. And this is why in Act 2 we see a lot of reference to food actually turning to dust or to rot. Because the food was starting to miss inside the boat. So one day, as they were hiding in the boat's lower levels and looking for supplies, Lily told James to stay hidden while she went to venture out and find some food. However, horrible things happened when she ventured out inside the boat.
Come, faithful servant.
And this is what we
For
see in
tonight
Act
we
4.
brew
Actually,
a
I
foolish
forgot to tell you
concoction.
about Act 4.
The world's strangest.
So, I will tell you about it once we're there. Oh, and I keep succeeding to skip these little lines of dialogue. It's really good. Okay, this one as well. Very nice. Allows me to run faster out of the room. A tyrant, yeah. That's I forgot the T at the end. Thank
Torn
you.
up by conflict, ravaged by war, flawed on the surface, warped to its core.
Okay, got all the ingredients to my little stew.
Look at it bubble. Look at it shake. The beast.
It's a little bit too
It's
late for
awake.
Thanksgiving, but hey. The intention matters, right? Oh, and that, by the way, is a reference to the Emerald City of the Wizard of Oz. Maybe you got
Look,
that
Jimmy.
one.
Father's screening the Black Wanderer.
The original Wizard of Oz, though, which came out in 1939, if I'm
Time to
not
go.
mistaken. And at the time, it was actually The Wizard of Oz was one of the most famous films in color. It's 1939, can you imagine? Like, such a film. I haven't seen it yet, but it's definitely a movie classic that I have to
Careful.
catch up on.
Step into the light.
Yeah, at the time, it should have been incredible to see this in a movie theater.
Little scum. You were always...
Keep her close to your heart.
Yeah, Ace of
Don't let her be
Spades.
forgotten.
A blackened heart,
Right?
rooted by dread.
Weak, useless,
Um,
no good to
Oh, yeah.
anyone.
Okay. I was trying to remember where the
It's
mysterious
like
item was
I
in this
never
chapter.
there.
And it's a really interesting one.
It would have been
Because you
better
have to solve a
if I was
puzzle
never
in
there.
order to get this item. And this puzzle is so complicated. So I spent a while trying to understand what was the fastest way to do it.
Be quiet.
But it's actually a mathematical problem.
Let's
And
go.
I
Father will be leaving
I'm
the
not really
projection
good
room
at
soon.
math, so I wanted to ask some friends that actually worked in mathematics to help me with that and to build like some kind of algorithm or something, like solve an equation or something, I don't know, that would give me the smallest number of inputs that you had to do to solve this puzzle. Right now, like as of today, I can solve this puzzle in 12 inputs, but I'm sure you can do it in less. Basically,
When
you
the
have,
world
I'm not
becomes
spoiling too much, but
cruel,
you have
look for a place
a
to
grid
hide.
of
Can be refuge for
4
dark.
by 4.
Can be
Yeah,
many
a square grid of 4 by 4
Here's what
I don't know,
adds the
spots.
dark can be a silent place. Silence
And each
can
time you
be
click one of these spots on the grid,
or it can see
the 4
volumes.
spots around it
Is whatever
like
you make
light up.
the dark.
However, the
can be a
one you
lonely
click
place.
doesn't light up. So the point is to light up all of the spots, all of the buttons
Solitude can be a
in
sentence.
the least tries possible. I don't know if you got that. It's really poorly explained, but but you'll get to see it in about 10 minutes, something like that.
hand. Sometimes it's better to hide, to let the dark in.
And now it's really convenient because I can just go through all these rooms without having
Father's
to
coming.
be careful about all the
said
items I need to
get
collect,
in.
because of course I already have them. Oh, you got the Wizard of Oz reference. That's cool.
Hush, it's already started.
And now that I think about it, what are the movies
Come
that I
on,
can talk to you
I'll get
about that
mad
are
if we're not
referenced in
back
the game?
before
Well, we
him.
talked about Seven, talked about the Wizard of Oz, Pirates of the Caribbean. What else do we have? Oh, actually, there's a Fight Club reference as well. But this one's pretty hidden. It's like, it counts as a Steam achievement if you found this. And it's actually a reference to literally the final scene of Fight Club. So of course I won't tell you about it right now because it would
This is
be
where you
spoiling
come
the
in.
whole thing. Yeah, when you don't know Fight Club and you play and you find this room in Layers of Fear, you don't really understand what it means. But when you know the
Seems the
film, it's
tables have turned,
so
Quartermaster.
funny.
Curse you and your mutinous puppets. I will not make
What
this
else do we have?
easy
Oh, we
for
talked
you.
about Psycho as well in
If
Act
I
4.
am to meet my doom today, it will be by your hands. By your
Action.
action.
And now I will choose to shoot the puppets instead
Too
of Lily.
late to build your character, boy. You wanted to be like me? Shoot.
See, I
What
can
are
see
we to
here
you? Mere
that it's way longer.
playthings? Play your part.
I mean, way longer, like 20 seconds or 15
You thought
seconds
you could
longer,
be
something like
me?
that.
You will always be just a scared little boy.
There you go.
Lily, are you all Lily? Lily!
So that's a memory, of course, of Lily and James
Lily,
playing together.
I thought you were gone.
That's because I was. Well, she is.
What?
That sentence is very important. Who I was a moment ago is no more.
Is no more. Now, I can become someone else.
And this means, you know, James and Lily spent their entire childhood pretending to be pirates and playing the roles
This is
of
the
pirates.
best part. Come.
And
Can't
right
stay
here,
longer.
at this very moment, Lily makes her little brother understand that when you play the role of someone, and if that someone dies, well, who you were a moment ago is no more, and now you can become someone else. So that's very, that grows, that thought grows in James's mind. And of course, he will make it his job, because he will become an actor. Fighting the parts of this little rocket, plugging this in, and launching the rocket. And so we are back in that section.
My brother. He was always there. Following in my footsteps.
Here it's funny because usually in the game when you play in casual mode, I mean it's in normal mode, you have 3 lives in this rocket and you
Always
must
there,
avoid
but never really present.
these floating rocks.
Sometimes.
However, if you play in
When
safe mode,
darkness fell
you have
across town,
99 lives.
We'd sneak
So
out
you
of
can-
the house.
Yeah,
He'd
you don't
look
care
up
about them.
into the night sky, watching the stars, but never really seeing them.
And that's also an interesting
What he
cutscene
really saw was 1,000 souls on
because it's
fire.
Lily talking about her brother.
His eyes
James.
would light up. The stars were already there. At that moment, I knew he had it
And
in
she's
him
talking about how his brother
to make
was
1,000
always a
hearts
dreamer.
bleed, 1,000 heads turn, 1,000 eyes weep.
It is such a sad game.
My
You are
brother.
so right.
The
It's so
silent
sad, and it's even, it's not even only sad. It's also terrifying because of what happens in Act 4.
The journey of a lifetime.
Yeah.
A light on the horizon.
Like, imagine the
flame
worst that could
To
happen,
call his own.
and
Yes.
it's even
He
worse.
had it in him. To make
And that's what's
1,000
fascinating.
souls
And
burn.
this game became
Make them feel
like Layers of Fear
alive.
2 is in my top 3
Make them
favorite games
live
of all time
Forever.
Straight up.
1,000 lives.
because of its lore and because of how its lore is told in the storyline
mine.
and in the storytelling. Because when I first understood what was going on in Act 4, like I was exploring the game, you know, figuring out what was going on because I really liked the game when I first played it, so I wanted to play it again and again just to understand everything, to figure out the puzzle, you know.
Something else took its place.
And when it finally clicked in my head,
Something vicious.
it was so shocking. Like,
Something-
you know this feeling when you end a movie or a video game that you loved and that was absolutely shocking and life-changing. You're here in front of your screen, you look at the credits and you can't move or speak.
Don't worry.
You know that feeling.
One day we'll get to see.
Well, I had that feeling when I realized, okay, Act 4 is absolutely horrible. And this is all thanks to symbolism, colors, and staging, like objects. It's crazy. The catatonic post-game stare, exactly that one. And actually, I had that last week with Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know if you heard about that game. It's a game by Sucker Punch Studio, and it's about a samurai. And Ghost of Tsushima was such a blast. I loved it. But yeah, that was my last post-credit catatonic stare. Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo. Okay. Last year I had that with a movie. Okay. What movie was it? I'm curious. Okay, now we're coming into the final section of this chapter, and we are heading into the puzzle that I was talking to you about. The puzzle to get this chapter's mysterious item. It's right here. So I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna focus just to remember what I need to do here. That's the one. I hope I did no mistake. There you go. Okay, that works. You see 12 inputs there, and I collected the silver cube.
Why can't you just leave us alone?
Which is another one of these mysterious, ethereal items that are actually about the game's mythology and the deities that I was talking about earlier.
What did you call me?
That movie made me sob uncontrollably. That's both amazing and horrible. It's funny because I don't have that actually with movies, video games, or any kind of arts. I can't cry in front of movies, for example, or video games. I don't cry, but I do get super emotive though, like super moved and everything, like not being able to talk, this kind of thing. That completely happens to me. But my eyes just don't cry. I don't understand why. But yeah, the last movie that I had like that was, maybe you saw it, it's a film by Martin McDonagh, and it's called The Banshees of Inisherin. And this film with Colin Farrell and who else? I don't remember the cast. Sorry about that. But this film was my last, yeah, my last favorite. And video game wise, well, yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, definitely. Wait, I always forget where I need to go here. Yeah, it's on the right. Oh yeah, Brendan Gleeson as well. You're right. Yeah, great film, right? It's amazing. It's so unique. It's literally a film about nothing else than
Father,
two-person,
it's today.
like two people that don't, like, one doesn't want to speak to the other, even though they were friends for years. That's all this film is.
Did you get anything?
A friendship broken. Literally, this is the entire pitch. And they managed to make 110 minutes film, something like that.
Is it over?
A bit less than 2 hours. About this friendship broken. And it's so heartbreaking. But so enchanting as well, because it's happening in a remote Irish island during Civil War in the 20th century. Yeah, it's so touching. Great film. You should watch the previous movie. Oh, in Bruges, yeah. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this town correctly in English, but it's Bruges in France. I mean, in Belgium. But yeah, I really need to catch up on this one. I've seen 3 billboards, which is amazing as well. But yeah. And we are done with Act 3, which means we only have Act 4 and 5 to go through before the end of the game. And the end of the run by the same occasion. So, the mysterious item in this chapter is really far inside the chapter, like it's at the end. So I don't have to worry about anything right now, and it's just an any % run, basically. And so I don't know if I'm going to reveal the true meaning of this act, because
Go on.
basically it tells the
Be
story
there
of
for her.
something horrible
Which
and
was for
haunting
you.
that happened to Lily. And I kind of want to encourage you guys to, well, not play the game, like play the game if you want to, but at least go and see a video on YouTube, you know, about it, because it's really interesting. And the discovery of what happens is so mind-blowing that I don't want to ruin it if maybe someday you want to try the game.
From one flame
Ah, c'est Bruges sans le S. Merci beaucoup. Thanks. Okay, so in Bruges. Okay. Duly noted.
some parts are not.
There's actually a very funny Easter egg in that room with the chalkboard. The chalkboard. If you spin it like twice or 3 times, I don't exactly remember, you'll hear a little bell ringing in your ear, and that will mean that a lemon appeared behind you. Yes, a lemon. And actually, there's a total of 6 lemons hidden in this game. And unfortunately, the lemons don't count as collectibles, so that's why we don't see the lemons in this run. But there are 6 hidden lemons in this game, and the lemons are some kind of Easter egg, but I don't really like to call them an Easter egg because they don't reveal like something funny or anything that's not related to the lore. But instead they reveal a room that holds the key to understanding the true identity and purpose of the Rat Queen character. You know, the character we saw in the first ending, like 40 minutes ago? So it's basically finding all lemons reveal the true meaning of Layers of Fear 2, basically. Another fascinating thing about this game. We don't mind. A slow run when you go through anything, yeah, through everything about this game. Actually, I know so much about it. Thank you so much. I know a lot about this game because actually I studied it. I did a full video analysis about the game on YouTube. I don't know, you know, to auto promote, but yeah, basically I studied the game a lot, so that's why I know all of the details. But I'm sure, you know, if you Google it or anything, you'll have plenty of content explaining everything that's going on in Layers of Fear 2. I'm not sure there's that kind of content for the third Layers of Fear still. Maybe one day I'll do something, but I'm not sure, because I don't really like Layers of Fear 3 as much as this one.
You're right.
So yeah, we'll see about
You're
that.
hurt.
Here I'm looking on the ground again just to avoid the flashing lights. Sorry about that. It's a really flashy chapter.
Nothing really happened.
I'm just positioning myself
Just
on the right
being
spot,
careful.
which is right here. And there you go. One,
Why am I
two,
forward? Why weren't
three,
you? Why did
four.
you let this monster?
5 and 6.
Useless. Worthless. I hate you.
Rough words. But there's a reason for a lady to get angry. That door sound was so loud in my ears. I don't know about you, but... Alright. Oh, we're back into my favorite corridor. The one where you must go backwards. It's such a good mechanic.
It's all right. Things happen. Bad things. I am still here. This is not the end. The flame burns
Oops.
all away.
I bumped into the light. Now we're going back into the lighthouse section. Oh, and that's actually a really interesting detail. The lighthouse that you can find in this game, in this game section, was actually added as a completely new gameplay experience in Layers of Fear 3. In Layers of Fear 2023, because it's not called Layers of Fear 3, but whatever. But yeah, you can play an entire chapter inside a lighthouse in Layers of Fear 2023. And it's one of the things that I love about Layers of Fear 3, is that whole section in the lighthouse. There's also many things that I didn't love at all. Like how repetitive it was, for example. But hey, it's fine. Yeah, it's hard to come as a sequel, right? But, I mean, Layers of Fear 2 wasn't that popular as well. They didn't manage to bring back the entire audience that they had with their first game. But it's understandable, because their first game worked really, really well.
And I will.
So, it was even harder to go from the first one to the second than to the second, like,
will
than
be.
from the second to the third. So,
I will.
I don't know if you can see... No, I think you can't. On Steam or like platforms like that, I don't know if you can see the number of downloads. I think that's private information, but I'll have to dig. I don't know.
rises in the veins of the world. It comes for you, don't fight it. Yes.
And I think I remember there's also been some drama around Blubber Team, unfortunately. I'm not on point with that. I would have to read about it again. But I think, yeah, I think something happened that's not really cool with Blubber Team, like some kind of idea stealing around. I'm not sure, I don't really remember, but I don't want to say anything stupid or fake. But yeah, some people decided that they
Please
wouldn't
come back.
support Blobber
We
Team
need
again.
you.
Well, what I know is that I love Layers of Fear, and I will always love Layers of Fear with all my heart. But for example, I tried another game by Blobber Games, which was The Medium, and I couldn't keep playing after only 2 hours of gameplay because it was so boring. It looked good, okay, it had nice concepts that I've never seen before. But yeah, The Medium was really annoying.
Thirst. I was feasting,
YouTube videos out there explaining, yeah.
never full.
If you like it, you like it. Yeah, definitely. And here we are again in this 7 section. With the 7 deadly sins.
Stripped of all my riches, I sailed the sea of nothingness.
Whoops. Whoops. Okay.
Wallowing in a sea of shame. I was never one to serve.
And actually here we are not going inside every available room because only 4 of them are needed in order to, well, to go to the next part of the game.
You're right. It is my fault.
Basically only 4 of them unlock this little ladder here,
Safe.
and there are more rooms that you can explore in this section,
We will
but they're
follow
not
you
needed,
across
so
the
we won't
7
see them in the
seas.
speedrun. Here I just have to navigate from light to light
Gaze its debt.
in order to not die. Actually, I've never tried to stay as long as I want here in safe mode because,
We've lost another soul.
well, in safe mode I'm not supposed to be able to die at all. But maybe I'm safe here, whatever that happens, and maybe I could just go straight, but I'm not sure. I'll have to try that. It's not a huge time save anyway. There you go, forever. Oh, plagiarizing ideas. Yeah, okay, so that's what I heard. All right. Sorry, I read your messages in the wrong order. Okay. And now we are at the point where we can get our final mysterious item. And it's with this little section here. So this section is not available during the first playthrough, again, like the other ones that we talked about a bit earlier. This section only appears in New Game Plus. Am I in dead end here? Yeah, sorry. I missed the turn. You have to light up this huge rat statue over there. I think I missed one. Oh no, it's over there. Okay. And that one here. There you go. And that's the final mysterious item. Now we can finish the game. Oh, actually no, there's one last item, but it's not a mysterious item, it's just a photo slide.
This way.
Yeah, rats. Rats are a very common theme in Layers of Fear. And they have been since the first game, so if you don't like rats, maybe this game is not for you.
Can't you hear it?
Maybe there's a name for this, for the fear of rats. I don't know the name of this trouble, but yeah.
Lily, what if something bad happens?
What if I can't find you? That's a memory again.
Listen to my voice. You got it wrong.
All right. And we're done with Act 4, which is we're going into the last act of this run. Isn't that amazing? Musophobia. Okay. I like that. Yeah, it references the Latin name of rats, which is I think lab rats are called mus musculus. Something like that. But yeah, mus or moose, I don't know. It's the Latin name for rats, so it makes sense. And here we go. Final act. Forever. So the item we need to pick up here is a photo slide. And again, because of the new Game Plus items tell the story of the deities and the mythology of Layers of Fear, well, this photo slide as well gives a hint to what the mysterious items truly mean. Because it's actually a photo slide where you can see the silver cube on it. And the silver cube is one of the mysterious items. So it's really weird. Because usually the photo slides only tell the story of Lily and James. Like they retrace the story of the game basically. You can find them back in the hub. And if you look at them all, it's basically the story of the game unfolding through pictures. However, the last picture, the 11th photo slide, which we're going to collect in a minute, is different, and it actually shows someone handing to little James the silver cube. It's really mysterious, and even today I have an idea of what it means, but I'm not 100% sure because this isn't talked about at all in Layers of Fear 2023. So it's just out there in Layers of Fear 2, and we can do whatever we want with it. However, the Rat Queen, and I'm glad about that, the Rat Queen became one of the main characters of Layers of Fear in 2023 with their new game. She is very present, and we learn a lot about her. And in a way, they made Layers of Fear 2023 very obvious, in a way. But I think it's good because Layers of Fear 2 was way too inaccessible for anyone who didn't care about the lore and just wanted nice immersion and a nice story. However, in Layers of Fear 2023, it's way clearer and easier to understand the meaning behind all this. So I think on that point, on a storytelling point of view, I think it's better than Layers of Fear 2. But you know, anyone can make his own opinion on that. And I failed again to skip this dialogue here, so I'm very slow in that little tunnel. It's really hard to do, to skip a dialogue before it starts. Basically, it's almost frame perfect, where you have to right click like a couple of frames before the dialogue starts. And I can't manage to do it every time. It's really hard. And it's not even a great time save, you know, it saves like one or 2 seconds every dialogue. It adds up at the end and it's useful, but missing 1 or 2 here and there is fine.
Whoever that is, I hope you'll be brave this time. I don't think I can. I cannot. You cannot help me. Not anymore.
Thank you, James.
This was to be my final work. To reclaim what was lost. To let go of
Oh yeah,
the
I
stolen
forgot one of the
fire.
most obvious movie references in this game.
True flame.
And it's The Shining by Stanley Kubrick.
Now the spark.
With this
It is almost gone.
motive on the ground. The 2 sisters at the end of the corridor.
Just like you.
It's a very obvious reference. I'm speeding through it here, but yeah. It's really fun to come into this room and realize. Okay, don't forget the photo slide, Kaweed. It's right there. No, right after there. A bit later. Okay, here there's no need to go in the little room on the right because we already have the movie poster that was inside. I'm just going to this vault immediately. Get the gold. Alright. Alright, and here is the last movie poster. Ready? Ta-da! There it is. So we officially collected every single collectible item in Layers of Fear 2. And now we just need to finish the game. Isn't that wonderful? So usually, I don't think I will have time for this here today because, well, the end credits are pretty long and there's a long cutscene to go through, so I won't do it today, but usually what we... Whoops. Wait, I got lost here. It's over there. Usually what we like to do in Layers of Fear 2 speedrunning is that we go to the hub after the end of the all collectibles run to show all the items and give proof to the mod team that all the items are there. So it's easier for verification. But trust me, I'm 100% confident here that I got all the items, so there's no need to go back to the hub. We got them all. Gotta catch them all, right? Now there's a couple of rooms to go to in this
How many times have I tried
distorted
to put the
and
pieces back together
paradoxical chapter,
just to watch
which is happening in a sunken boat. Actually, we're supposed to be underwater right now, because of course, you saw in the first ending cutscene, and we're going to see it again, that the boat where Lily and James was exploded and finally sunk at the end. So this is a reference to what James lived through and survived through in his childhood, because he was rescued. There's a note in the game that says that approximately half of the passengers were rescued during the sinking of this boat. So James was part of this rescued half, and unfortunately Lily wasn't. And that's what we see in the final cutscene, and that's why this final chapter happens in like underwater world. So this is the monster that's supposed to chase you throughout the entire game, by the way, but we don't see him because we're too fast. It makes sense, right? You're too slow, buddy. And off we go. So the timer will not stop at the end of this hallway with the first cutscene. We first need to watch this cutscene, and then there will be a final corridor to go through and a final door to open. And that will be where the timer will finally stop. There you go. So that will be the first cutscene. Bam! So you already saw this cutscene an hour ago. However, it changed just a little bit because I did a different choice, remember? I chose something different in one of the key scenes. So the dialogues that Lily says here are actually different depending on the choices you make throughout the game. So there's plenty of different cinematic cutscenes you can have here.
You look for a better way. Nothing is ever easy.
That's the one. That's different. So in a consequence of that, the final ending that I will have will also be different, of course, because I obeyed the director once more than I disobeyed him. So I will have the flame ending.
James, listen to me. You have to go. No.
Yeah, we're just seeing that again.
I'll find a way to reach you.
I know
The
you
origin
will. You're strong.
of Layers of Fear 2.
We'll be together again. No matter how long it takes, I will find you. I will.
And now we have 20 seconds of gameplay remaining. in order to open the last door towards the final cutscene. We're back at the beginning, closing the loop. And actually, interesting thing here, on the left here, there's a hidden room that I can't access right now because I didn't find all the hidden lemons. But if you find the lemons, this room will be accessible. And that is time. Here we go. And you can see that the ending changed. So that's pretty neat. This is the flame ending, so it's basically accepting to let go of your lost sister and accepting your true identity.
The lands that are no longer there. The dreams we did not get to
What we
share.
see here is young James,
All we love is stripped away.
an adult James that we are.
A boy must leave. A man must
And you
stay.
see the symbolism here. Behind
And yet,
him is
There is
fireplace
still hope, you see.
to symbolize the flame, which is actually the soul that burns inside of James.
Although the boy has ceased
His
to
own
be,
soul, but
where there
also
was
the
I,
soul of his sister
there
that he
shall
kept with
be.
him. And there is also a very
The
famous
holy
painting,
flame,
maybe you
it
know it. This
Burns
painting
away, it
on the
shows
wall.
us There's another way.
It's a painting by
Let us
Goya.
be together, forever, and ever, and ever.
209:38. Wow. That's a really good time. Thank you so much.
Sure you'll find me
That's a
quite
really good
treat.
time for a 60 FPS run. Which means that if I run this game again with a higher frame rate, this will be a guaranteed PB. Thanks to the news chat, of course. Alright. And of course this was just a play. People are clapping, and you can see here a faded lily flower. Symbolism again. Lily, James's sister, is gone, and he accepted the past. Here I am. So I think now is the time to thank you for watching. I hope you liked the game. Thanks again for accepting this amazing run on the marathon. It was pretty short, even like 209. It's a really good time, so I'm really satisfied with it. And I always love to talk about Layers of Fear, especially Layers of Fear 2, because it's my favorite game of the franchise. And it's such an underrated gem, you know? There's so much to uncover about this game. So I really encourage everyone to try it out. Of course, like, it doesn't work on everybody, and I know that. But it's fine, you know? Everyone needs to make their own opinion. And yeah. We see here all the movie posters that we collected during the game, which are actually movies that James played inside of. However, there is a cliffhanger. Spoiler alert, of course, but you know, it's the second ending out of 3 that you see of this game, so it's not a question about being spoiled anymore. And there it is. Alright, now I think I can give it back to the host. Thank you so much for having me. It was a real pleasure. Keep supporting the marathon, as always, and congratulations to everyone that's organizing it, because it was great. And I'll stay in chat anyway to watch all the later runs, of course. But yeah, have a great Christmas month, and a great Christmas season, and see you later. Bye.